guys, my name is Mallory. I want to start off with the fact that in almost every state, not just California, the juvenile has to be at least 14 years of age in order to be put on trial as an adult. There have been some cases in which someone under the age of 14 has been tried as an adult, but as I have said, in almost every case, they have to be at least 14 years of age. I'm going to be talking about one, different rules in some states and the differences between juvenile and adult courts. Two, some court cases of juveniles being tried as adults. And three, why juveniles should be tried as adults. Firstly, rules for trying juveniles as adults vary from state to state. For example, legalmatch.com says that in California, a juvenile is anyone under the age of 18. Anyone 14 years and older can be tried as an adult for serious crimes such as robbery, robbery with a weapon, rape, and murder. In New York, a juvenile is anyone under the age of 16, but at least 7 years old. Children who are 13 to 15 years old, who commit more serious or more violent crimes can be charged as adults. And in Texas, the juvenile court system has power over minors who are defined to be anyone from 10 years age up until 18 years of age. We need to keep the law that anyone who is at least 14 years of age can be tried as an adult for some specific reasons. CliffNote.com states that if juveniles are tried in adult courts, they will be afforded their full array of constitutional rights. This is where it comes into the differences between juvenile and adult courts. In juvenile courts do not have the right to a trial by a jury, which could put the criminal at a disadvantage because they cannot play the sympathy card. It says from legalmatch.com as well, it says having a jury trial hear the case is extremely important as a jury can be more sympathetic towards the minor than any judge would be. So basically saying like this is kind of going for them in a way. I'm just realizing that now. Now that a child is going to an adult court, if a child is not sent to an adult court, they will not get trial by a jury, which would basically put the jury for them in a way. Secondly, there have been numerous court cases in which a child has committed a heinous act of violence and has been sent to an adult trial. These are basically just different cases that have happened. In 2009, Eric Smith finally spoke out about a crime that he committed when he was only 13 years old. The crime was choking, beating, sexually assaulting, and murdering a 4-year-old boy. Derek Roby was on his way to a park and rec program, and he was only a block away from his house when he was lured across the street by Eric and then murdered. CBSNews.com quotes that prosecutor John Tooney says, "I don't doubt for a second, never have doubted, that Eric had not been caught, he would have kept killing." It says that Eric was sentenced to a minimum of 9 years in prison and has been denied parole 6 times. In 2009, Lionel Tate, who was just 12 years old at the time, murdered a 6-year-old girl because he was, quote, practicing wrestling moves that he had seen on TV. It says that the little girl that he had murdered was left with 35 injuries, including a cracked skull, a broken rib, a lacerated liver, hemorrhaged kidneys, bleeding in the brain, and dozens of bruises all over her body. They said it was equal to the fall from a 3-story building. This is where I come to the point that Bob and Alex both kind of touched about. Bob when he was talking about the prefrontal cortex, and then Alex when he said that they don't know what's going on. Time.com states that kids today are more sophisticated at a younger age. They understand the implications of violence and how to use violent weapons. It's absurd to argue that a modern child who sees the effect of violence around him in the news every day doesn't understand what killing really is. The fact that child killers know how to load and shoot a gun is an indicator that they understand exactly what they're doing. Another reason why juveniles should be tried as adults is the fact that victims also have rights. Their families, their friends, and those who truly do care about them all need healing. And in many cases, in order to heal and to move on and to know that the world is just a little bit safer, is by having that person locked up behind bars. When it came to the course of 4-year-old Derek Roby, CBS News states that most crucial to the Roby family is that the parole board doesn't forget Derek either and allow his killer to walk out the door. Knowing that Eric Smith is put away behind bars and unable to hurt or harm anybody else is a major sad relief for the Roby family. And in response to Alex, when he stated about the costs, I believe that money shouldn't be an issue to get or to receive justice. There's more important things in life than money, and that's such as safety and making sure that the person who has committed these heinous acts are put behind bars.